Hello and welcome to my video looking at some of the symbols used in Khaled Hosseini's novel The Kite Runner. I have another video that covers the plot summary and some background details that you can watch here, but for now I'm going to jump into the symbols used in the story. The Kite Runner contains a great deal of symbolism which can be drawn upon for student analysis, and I thoroughly recommend digging deeper into these to get a greater understanding of the story and its characters. While there are many symbols and motifs in the novel that can be explored, I will only look at 5 main ones here. The monster in the lake. On the morning of the big kite fighting tournament, in an attempt to calm Amir's nerves, Hassan tells Amir about a dream he had the night before. He tells Amir that in the dream the two of them are at Kahaga Lake, alongside thousands of other people, but everyone else is too afraid to swim because they fear that a monster is in the lake. In the dream, Amir and Hassan jump in the water and swim out to the middle, and everyone sees there was no monster at all. When Amir thinks about withdrawing from the tournament, Hassan says, "Remember, Amir, there's no monster, just a beautiful day." But later that day, during the kite fighting tournament, the local bully Asif rapes Hassan in an alleyway, and Amir witnesses the horrific event. Amir is afraid and does nothing to help Hassan. He doesn't even tell his father, Baba. Could Asif, the wicked bully, be the monster in the lake that everyone was afraid of? Or could Amir's jealousy of Hassan be the monster in the lake? Or perhaps Amir himself is the monster? Much like the crowd of people in the dream that cheer when Amir and Hassan swim out to the middle of the lake, Baba and Rahim Khan cheer for Amir when he wins the tournament. Does this symbolise that Baba and Rahim Khan are oblivious to the monster, Amir's jealousy? The Pomegranate Tree. The pomegranate tree represents the relationship between Amir and Hassan. Early in the story, the pomegranate tree is where Amir and Hassan grow close to each other. This is where they play together. Amir reads Hassan's stories there, and they carve their names into the tree. After Hassan is raped by Asif and the other bullies, Amir and Hassan's relationship is never the same. Amir resents himself for not helping his friend, knowing that Hassan and his loyalty far outweigh his own. He feels as though he himself needs to receive some sort of punishment. Amir begins pelting Hassan with pomegranates and becomes frustrated that Hassan won't fight back. In a larger sense, Amir wants Hassan to hold him accountable for his inaction and accuse him of betrayal. Hassan refuses to fight back and instead begins crushing the pomegranates on his own head in defiance of Amir's demands. The pomegranate tree, once a site of brotherly love, is now filled with bitterness and anger. Amir's sense of personal resentment and inadequacy lead him to cast the very symbol of their friendship at Hassan. Hassan's intense loyalty to Amir will not be broken, and this is symbolised by his voluntary actions to crush the pomegranates on himself. For you, 1,000 times over. The cleft lip. Hassan's cleft lip is a mark of his own low social status, not just as a Hazara, but also as a servant. It signifies his poverty, which is one of the things that separates him from Amir. There is no way that Hassan's father, Ali, could afford the surgery to fix his cleft lip. But on Hassan's 13th birthday, Baba pays a surgeon to fix Hassan's cleft lip, which signifies and foreshadows his secret fatherly love. Once Hassan's cleft lip is fixed, it symbolises that he is no longer separated from Amir in Baba's eyes, that both of them are his sons and worthy of his affection. Later in the novel, when the adult Amir is brutally beaten by Asif, Amir's lip is split, leaving him with a permanent scar. Amir's cleft lip now links him with Hassan once again as he moves forward and becomes a father figure to Hassan's orphan son, Sohrab. Amir's scar can also symbolise his redemption as he earns it attempting to save Sohrab from the sickening conditions that he's in. Baba and the bear. Early in the novel, Amir talks about the rumour that Baba had wrestled a black bear and won, a rumour that as a child Amir believes to be true. Amir dreams about his father wrestling the bear and says, "I can never tell Baba from the bear." This symbol highlights Amir's unshakable faith in his father's strength, but it also shows that he's intimidated by his father. He perceives Baba as strong but ferocious. The bear symbolises a duality in Baba, and this duality is deepened further when Amir discovers Baba's indiscretions and lies. Baba had developed a reputation in the community as a generous man, building an orphanage, a man with unquestionable integrity. And yet, in his personal life, Baba was harbouring shame for his infidelity with Ali's wife and for fathering a secret, illegitimate child. Later in the novel, when Amir is being beaten by the Taliban, he loses consciousness and begins to dream of Baba wrestling the bear again. Amir says, "He looks up at me and I see, he's me. I'm wrestling the bear." Perhaps this revelation of Amir's represents that he's taken on the characteristics of Baba, that Amir too struggles with this duality. While outwardly, Amir is a successful author attempting to adopt a traumatized Afghani orphan, inwardly he's still wrestling his own shame for betraying Hassan as a child. The flying of kites. Possibly the most prominent and multi-layered of all the symbols in the novel is the flying of kites. Kite fighting and kites throughout the novel represent the dichotomy of beauty and violence. They represent the novel's key theme of betrayal and redemption, but they also represent hope. While flying their kite as children, Amir and Hassan are bonded together, as it takes both of them to successfully steer their kite to victory. Their relationship is also represented in their kite fighting roles, with Amir directing the kite while Hassan performs the servant or assistant role, holding the string and retrieving the losing kite before it lands. This is known as running the kite. But the tournament victory that was supposed to be a glorious and joyous celebration for Amir and Hassan is horribly corrupted and defiled when Hassan is raped in an alleyway attempting to retrieve Amir's winning kite. Amir's inaction when he witnesses Hassan's rape transforms the kite into a symbol of betrayal. Amir does not fly another kite for the rest of the novel, or at least until the very end, because of his deep-seated regret that stems from this moment. Amir spends the rest of the novel regretting his betrayal and eventually attempts to seek redemption by saving Hassan's orphan son, Sohrab, from the clutches of the Taliban. It's not until the end of the book that Amir flies another kite, and this time it's with Sohrab in the park in California. But this time Amir has switched positions and he has taken on the servant role of holding the string as he teaches Sohrab to direct the kite. In this instance, the kite represents Amir's redemption as he embodies Hassan's former role and takes on the fatherly responsibility of raising and protecting Sohrab. Another layer to the kite's symbolism at the end of the novel is one of hope. Not long after Amir's regret-filled childhood victory as the kite fighting champion, kite fighting is banned in Afghanistan by the Soviets. Just as Amir abandons hope for any kind of personal redemption, kites never again fill the skies of Afghanistan as the age-old tradition is abandoned. But 30 years later, amongst a burgeoning Afghan immigrant community in California, several traditional kites are flying in the sky when Amir and Sohrab fly theirs. Perhaps the kites here symbolize hope. Hope that these immigrants who have fled the horrors of war have found safety, a new home, one where they can keep their traditions alive. Hope for Amir and Sohrab, whose relationship is unstable due to the trauma inflicted upon Sohrab. Hope for a brighter future. I hope this video has been helpful and educational in some way, and if you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments below. If there are any other books or plot summaries you'd like me to cover on this channel, please let me know.